Hello again and welcome to the PM Talk Show. Happy New Year to everyone. We're here again on Miller Lake at FPTV in Hammond. Today we have as our guest Coach Alden Foster, who is the head coach for the Amite High School Warriors, and we want to welcome you to our program today. And we're bringing you on to talk about the excellent program that you have and the significant impacts that it has had with the kids, especially the first class of seniors that you had your first year. It kind of seems like yesterday, but it's been a few years, and we have one of those students as our guest today. So we're going to give you the camera, give you the microphone, and give you an opportunity to just let the public know about your program and what got you from where you were to where you are now with the football program at Amite High School.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. One of my goals when we went to court and did all we did and fought so hard was to change the whole culture of Amite High School for us academic-wise in athletics. I was fortunate to be an academic all-state player as well as all-state player on the football field, but I played with a lot of guys that was a lot better than me and didn't get the opportunity to go on to college because it wasn't really stressed to us. As long as we played and stayed eligible, or they did what they do to. That's not to knock anybody in the past, but it's just a reality of the way it was. If you were good enough to get it, you got it. If not, so what we want to do is change the culture. And the first year, with that class, we had 13 kids signed. Of course, all of them didn't remain in college, but they had the opportunity. You had kids like Brandon and Leslie Deemer, who's at Northwestern State. Brandon Mitchell's at Arkansas, and Pierre Warford is still in school. A guy named Oliver Jackson who walked on up at ULM. But they set the tone. It was a great class. Unfortunately, we didn't win the state championship like we planned on. But they set the tone for the academic part of it by them going on and maintaining, and it gave other kids something to shoot for. And this past year, that freshman class, which was last year's signing class, they kind of watched Brandon and Brandon will come back just like they do now. And they 11 of them signed, and all of them was academically qualified. And they didn't have the luxury of going to the Southwest. So all of them were academically qualified to play as freshmen if they wanted to. And that was the ultimate goal, was to change the culture of not just playing football on the field, but also changing doing well in the classroom, which is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. So if you had to gauge what you did the first year on a scale from 1 to 10, where would you rate it?
I rated it about a 8 because we didn't win the state championship. But to come in, they let us take over in mid-June, after going to court and all that, and to come in and install basically a whole new system. Mm-hmm. Teaching kids coverages and all that type of stuff, and and to go undefeated and to have all those kids have the success that we had was a tremendous accomplishment, But like I said, the thing was to change the whole mindset, because we had study hall, we had all mindset about it's more to. And when they go to college now, it's more to life than just playing football.
Right.
And life is bigger than going right there to Southwest Junior College.
Right.
Not to knock it, because some great players have went there and went on and got degrees, but just give them a better opportunity. And my hat's off to them, because we threw a lot at them in a short period of time, and they took it. But like I told them, when you go to college, the study hall thing and all the responsibility, itineraries and all that, it won't be nothing new to you. And I hadn't had a call from Brandon, with Brandon being late or didn't follow itinerary or anything like that. And hopefully, that period of time made a difference in their lives.
Right, and I believe it did, because that was one of the things we meaning the NAACP and myself, stressed to you while we were going through those things that we were going through, that it should be education first and football second. I know that statement was significant and important to you because it showed in what you did with the players. And on behalf of the NAACP and actually Tangipahoa Parish, we thank you, because you set a trend and you changed the tone of the school to let the kids know that even if you do, or if you're fortunate enough to make it to the pros, then education is important, because if you make all the money and you don't know how to take care of it and spend it, you're going to end up losing it or somebody's going to take it away from you. So any comments on that?
Well, that's the thing, you know. When this football thing is all said and done, you got to have something to fall back on. And just like you say, if you're not smart enough to see, because if you make enough money, if you make it to the pros, which one out of half a million people make it to the pros, but if you're fortunate enough to make it, if you don't know how to manage your money, somebody could take it for right up from under your nose. Because money changes people.
Right.
You know, money changes people, and if you don't know how to handle it, you know, you could be robbed blind by somebody you've been knowing all your life. You know, so be smart enough that when it's all said and done, know how to put your money up, but also have a degree. Be able to call yourself. And now, when we talk about academics, you know, and like I tell the kids, college ain't for everybody.
Right.
You know, we talk about the ones that sign, but that first class, you got kids like Richard, what's his name? I can't think his name right offhand. And Ladarius McCoy. You know, kids like that didn't play hardly on that first year class, didn't play at all really, but come back and see you and just say thank you, coach. You know, he's in the Army, got a family, and doing well. You know, because you know we give them three choices: go to the service, go to work, or go to college. Of course, it's the ultimate, but it's not for everybody. But as long as you know, our goal was to make men.
Right.
You know, make respectful young men. And when one comes back like that didn't go to college, didn't have all the accolades, that lets you know you had a positive impact in their lives. And I mean, when he want to bring his kids and his new wife to see you, you know, that's why you do it. Even the kid, Marcus Goldman, we talk about him because he was one of the signees in that first class, and he ended up that he didn't want to go to school, you know, but he came home. Got him a job, been working in the plant since he's with the little girl that he was in love with, and got a little girl, and he bring her, come and coach, you know, because, you know, like I told him when he came home, hey, you got to do something, you know, and that's what he's doing. So that's the thing that makes you proud also.
Right. So positive role models in the lives of kids are very important too, if I'm hearing you right.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean, that's the most important thing. You know, it's just, if me being from where I'm from, and as they call at-risk child, and people telling you what you can't do, and if I can, you can, and I'm from the same situation as you. You know, and some of y'all situation is better than mine, some of y'all is worse, but it ain't too much worse. And I just thank God, you know, for blessing me and, you know, getting with people like yourself and NAACP and all my mentors and role models that are coming up, that I could give back to some of these kids. You know, that what people gave me the opportunity to do. Right.
Do you have any particular grade point average that the kids need to maintain to remain a player, a football team player, or what are some of your standards that you set that they have to meet in order for them to remain on the team?
Well, the states is a 1.5, and that we always set it at a 2.5. If they fall below that, you know, we put them on probation, take some playing time, we'll give them some punish work. But fortunately, at the end of last year, our overall team GPA was 2.7.
Okay.
And at the end of the first 6 weeks this year here, it was a 2.9, and that was the overall team GPA. So I mean, it's carrying over. And also what helps is, you know, I was tickled pink like a proud daddy. I guess I could say I'm 40 now, so I guess I could say a daddy now. When they came home, the day you saw us when you passed by, you know, and all of them come straight to the school, come to see us, and it was 8 of them that day, but they all come home, they come to lift weights, and the kids around the school see them.
Right.
And they see these the same guys that, you know, they use football as a way to pay for their education, or just come back and just talk about football. They get out there and play touch football like they was back in high school again. And that makes you proud that, you know, they want to come back. You know, instead of when I get old, I'm not going near that school. So it lets you know you had something positive. And they remind me of when me and my teammates, and you know, like Coach Davis, when we would come home from college, and we would get together with each other and surround yourself with positive people, and play ball, lift weights, and work out. And that's the thing I believe more than anything that just makes you proud when they come back, and just to see, just say, hey, that's all you want.
Right.
You know, and you know, and even the ones that don't go off, when you see them, they doing something with themselves.
Right, right. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel proud, as you said. One of the things I'm thinking about now is the first year after you became coach, you had all of the football players with little tablets in their hands. What was the purpose of that?
Well, that's, I mean, when we were installing the playbook and they had to put the plays, write the plays down, and when we were installing, so that would make them making sure they study, and also, like I say, and then they had to bring something to study hall too, and it wasn't studying plays, so you had 2 sets of tablets. So, that was the thing. Like I say, just to change the whole culture. Just when you go to college, I'll never forget when I first played college ball. You had your regular books, but you had your football tablet that you had to study. You ain't have no excuse because you write it down in your own writing, and some of us study better about when we write it down. So, and that was, like I say, it goes back to preparing them for college or just the system or the way it goes. I mean, everything is going to be a little different, but even on the job, even not only just going to college, but just everyday life. Like I told them, I said this thing. If you 5 minutes before it's time to be there, you're late. Be 10 minutes early. That way you give yourself a little time for error. And and it carries on. A bunch of them say they go by that now on their job or even in college. If you 10 minutes early, you set yourself up where you can relax a little bit instead of rushing. So and that's just about teaching them about life.
Right.
How to be man. Like we got a motto: you come in a brave, but you leave out a warrior man. And so that's the thing that. I tell them, if you can put up with us and all the strict stuff, the no earrings and no sagging and all that, you'll be prepared for life and to go on any job interview and be able to go anywhere you want in this world.
Okay, one of the good things I think you have as well to add to the incredible program that you now have in changing the culture of kids who want to play sports and just kids period, because kids who don't play sports, I'm sure they observe your players and they can emulate some of those things that you're doing. But when the kids come from the 8th grade at Westside Middle School, then is that an advantage for you as well?
Yeah, the kids the kids come from Westside, they see it. And like I tell Brandon, I don't want anything, but just come back. Just come back and talk to them. Just come back and just be an example of how to dress, how to talk, and how to carry yourself. I mean, when I went up to getting to Brandon now, I took some kids up, and we have one kid that's going to Arkansas, Javinsky Johnson, this year. We went up there, man, it just made you feel so good everywhere you went. The entire town of Arkansas, every restaurant. They talk about how great of a kid Brandon Mitchell is and how good of a, and the ultimate compliment is one of the coaches say, Coach, if your kids need a role model, to look up to Brandon Mitchell is one. So, I mean, you made your chest stick out, because not only that's one of your form, that's your cousin, that's your family too. So it makes you feel good. And it also gives the other kids something to shoot for, and a role model to follow. And he's coming up later, but him and Leslie Deemer, I go on and on about the kids that came out of the program, but we concentrate on that first class, the ones that, now they have an opportunity a year from now, hopefully they'll be getting ready to be drafted, hopefully. But the main thing is both of them set up. He's graduating this summer, and I believe Leslie's graduating in the fall, I believe. So they both set up for their degrees. So that's the main thing.
Right. Well, we'll be right back. We have going to a commercial break.